All right, good morning to you out there. Happy Thursday. It's a special edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast via the 1010XL podcast platform. Of course, on the app, 1010XL app, the 1010XL.com website, and all over YouTube, social media, whatnot. Brought to you by Team Tommy Mac, a group of businesses that I personally endorse in our market and beyond through this show, social media, and with some business development as well. Of course, you can see I'm still down in Isle Morada. We're trying a little bit different here today. Normally I go live on Facebook, but I know sometimes that when we convert it to YouTube, it doesn't look good. I got to either shoot with a better camera or I'm trying a different route today and filming it first and then, posting it. So I won't be able to interact, but I'll try to interact later and answer questions if you have any. Make sure you check out TommyMac.net. When you get a chance to see this video, you see all my stuff, all my content, Horse's Mouth, Catching Up, and Team Tommy Mac. All right, schedule releases out. I'll get into that. Initial reaction is pretty good, and I'm only going by gut. Now, you know how things change, right? Things change as far as teams. Like right now, I got us right away beating the Jets. Like I didn't even think twice about it. But what if Justin Fields works out? I mean, they've got a running back in Hall. They've got a good offensive line. Their defense has been good. Is he the missing link with Aaron Glenn at the helm? Of course, the new head coach. So I say W now, but who knows? That could be a really tough matchup later on in the year. I do have us going on a little streak at the right time. And we'll go through it. My initial gut reaction, of course, it'll change over time, but right off the bat, pretty darn good. We'll take a look around the National Football League. Derrick Henry getting a new deal, and more about Trey Hendrickson, which I think, man, I'd go get him. If I could figure something out, I'd go get him. Give him a 2-year deal, give him guaranteed money, what he wants, and let him come off the bench and just make your pass rush a Super Bowl caliber type pass rush. I talked about that yesterday. I won't get into that too much. Y'all know how I feel about it. I think it would just send us over the top on defense, and we all know what happens when you can really affect the QB at the National Football League level, any level for that matter. Real quick, I want to address, I saw where, what was it, Pete Rose and the guy from the White Sox back in Shoeless Joe reinstated. Now they could be eligible for the Hall. Pete, of course, passed away last year. If I'm his family, I'm big bird, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. He should have been in there beforehand. I had a great Pete Rose. I got interviewed by Pete Rose once in his restaurant. It was absolutely fantastic down in Boca. I used to spend my off seasons down there. And my mother was visiting. One of my teachers from grammar school was visiting, God bless her. And we were all hanging out at his restaurant. They found out I was playing for the Jags at the time. Pete had this studio inside the restaurant. He's like, hey, Pete would like to interview you. You up for it? I was like, kidding me? Pete Rose? Hell yeah, I'm up for it. And had a great time. We all got to go in his studio. He was so nice to my mom. He was so nice to our friend and to me, of course, and the people we were with. It was just a great moment. God rest his soul. But I tell you what, if I'm his family, I'd be like, you know what? Screw you. We don't want nothing to do with you. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest of all time. I don't care what anybody says. He is, whether he's in the Hall of Fame or not. But I thought that was kind of classless by Major League Baseball, doing it after he passes. Just my little opinion. As mentioned, Derrick Henry, 2-year, $30 million extension to stay with the Baltimore Ravens through 2027, $25 million in guaranteed money. So if they keep that train rolling, he is a beast. There's no doubt about it. And look, real quick, with Trey Hendrickson, he came out again stating he will not play for the Bengals under his current deal. And I know they got a ton of money in T. Higgins. They got a ton of money in Jamar Chase, of course, with Joe Burrow. I got us losing that game, by the way. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think since he's going to be pretty challenging, especially week 2. But nonetheless, they're not going to – it doesn't look like they're going to get a deal done. In today's day and age, you think they would, because you can manipulate the cap. And I tell you what, if they promised him a new deal and they're reneging on that, that's, that ain't cool, especially to a veteran that leads the league in sacks and one of the top players in the game at defensive end. It's not a great way to treat one of your veterans. But nonetheless, I think they got the replacement in the draft pick. Yeah, good luck with that. Trey Hendrickson is a special player. Look, when he was with the Saints, a free agent, I was clamoring from back then. I remember watching the Saints. I'm like, this guy Hendrickson's a player, man. They're all talking about everybody else, but this guy can play. He can rush, and he's been doing it at a high level. So we'll see what happens there. I'd go after him. I truly would. All right, the schedule release for our Jags is good, man. It's good. You get a trip to Vegas. That's kind of cool. Denver would be cool. Go see that. Of course, you got all the the division rivals, which is up for grabs. There's no doubt about it. I think we'll split with Houston. That's my gut. I think we sweep Indy, and I think we sweep Tennessee. You know, that's my gut reaction. Again, this goes without even seeing our team, only on paper. And the reason it gives me, I got them at 10-7, and the reason my gut tells me that is I believe the attitude's going to change. To me, that's been the number one problem for the Jaguars in the past few years, the attitude. You know, just the not making mistakes attitude, the physical attitude. We have not been physical. We have not. We don't need Tony Baselli to tell us that in this offseason. We've seen it. 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we played Philly up there, Philly just started pounding the rock. I'm like, this ain't good. They're punching us in the mouth, and we are not punching back. We're laying down almost. They ran all over us that day. And Miles Sanders, God bless him, got a great contract after that year. But I think we helped catapult his season because we couldn't stop him. And then it became the blueprint to beat us, smack them in the face. And they don't got enough dogs, if you will. They don't got enough fighters on that team to fight back. You know, they don't, and they haven't. So I'm expecting the attitude to be totally different. I'm not expecting mistakes. I'm not expecting them to be not physical. I'm not expecting the blueprint to be, hey, smash the Jaguars in the face because you can beat them that way. They'll cower. They won't do it. Listen, we've seen it live. When San Fran came to play, if you were in the stadium, on the field it was even more so. You could tell right away they were scared to play that team. They did not have the balls to play that team whatsoever. And I don't mean every single player. There's plenty that do, but not enough. Not enough. So I'm expecting this year and beyond to be different. Accountability, right? Energy, just physical toughness, mental toughness, grit, coming back, not making mistakes, not being tired, being so freaking conditioned that you could run forever. You know, you can just, it's not going to bother you. You're not going to forget. You're so conditioned on learning your playbook and learning your job and holding yourself accountable that you're not going to screw it up, especially when the team needs you, especially when the game's on the line, which we've seen way too many times. So I say that, my gut telling me that at 10-7, which, hey, man, that'd be phenomenal. I don't know if it's totally can happen, but you got to think they could double the 4, right? I mean, that's minimum. You got to double the 4. The 4 wins got to be 8. So at the very bottom, you want to raise your floor, James Gladstone. Well, you raise that 4 win to 8 wins. That's your floor. Now, what's your ceiling? Hey, as we all know, anything can happen in the NFL. Anything. You can get hot at the right time. You start winning. You start putting games together. You start sitting there going, okay, we lost that game, but man, we were right there. We know we can play with these guys. We know we can beat them. Got to do a lot of work. Got to put a lot of effort. A lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. You know, you got a lot to balance. You do, especially players today. They're working on brands. Their wives are working on brands. They're all doing this branding stuff. And you got to focus on the game itself. You got to focus on what is your job. My job is a professional football player. And I'm going to do everything I can to be the greatest football player for myself, for this team, and for this organization for as long as they have me. You know, and I think, look, the intangibly rich, whatever, just guys that love ball. I get it. That's what we want. That's what Jacksonville wants. That's what Jacksonville is. We love our football in Jacksonville. I know a lot of cities can say that. There's no doubt about it. But I know, being 30 years in the city of Jacksonville, how they feel about football. And that goes all the way through grammar school, high school, college, and then our Jaguars, right? We know we love football in the city of Jacksonville. And we know ball. There's no rocket science. There's not. You may not totally know every coverage or every line protection or that, but you can watch on the field and you can see what good football is and you can see what shitty football is. And it's been shitty for 2 years overall. It's not been good. It's not been good. So we know the changes here. So I'm expecting the change, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll go game by game in just a minute. Of course, just want to remind you about Team Tommy Mac. Go to TommyMac.net if you would. That's my website. You'll see all my content. You'll see this show. You'll see the horse's mouth, and you'll see Team Tommy Mac. All logos are front and center. just click on them. Their direct link to their website is embedded in the logo. Thank you, Avery McManus, my oldest lioness, for getting that done for me. But check it out there, and I tag them on social media. So if you would, please visit their handle, their pages on Facebook, Instagram, etc. And appreciate all the love and support, because they are fantastic. They are there when you need them. They're interacting with each other, interacting with you. They're helping you. They're serving your community, and that's what I love about Team Tommy Mac. Carpet Man Flooring, Morgan & Morgan, Christopher Sarah's Bail Bonds, J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, Azar Sausage, Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, Freedom Finance, Code Ninjas, Salt Air Inn and Suites, Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's Hot Sauces, the Baracus Group for all your security needs. And a big thank you to 1010 XL for hosting this show. All right, week 1, Carolina at home. I'm expecting a victory. Nothing's easy, but to me, if you don't, no disrespect to Carolina, I know we're making changes, we're adding things. You know, you never know in this game. You couple players, couple attitude changes, couple difference makers, and next thing you know, you're playing good. And if the quarterback can turn out, if Bryce Young can turn out to be anything, I still expect us to win the home opener. You know, it's funny against Carolina, when we both came into the league in '95, we played them every year through '99, and we always felt good about playing them. You know, I think. Did they ever beat us? I can't remember if Carolina beat us back in the early 90s, but I know we took it to them a couple times. Real close in 99. That's when I hurt my foot. Last play of the game against Carolina, when we won 22-20. Ripped my tendon. So I'm not a big fan of Carolina. That was the last game I ever played. But nonetheless, I think we take care of them pretty good. And they go up to the road at Cincy week 2. I think they're going to be a tough team. And I'm not saying we're not. I just don't know if week 2 will have it quite yet together. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I think we're going to see some great moments, and we may see some frustrating moments, which I'm gonna hammer because I hate those things. But just we got to see. But again, if they're more disciplined, if they're in better condition, if they really love football, and they got those guys playing like that, then anything can happen. But I'm going to take Cincy. Cincy beats us up in Cincinnati. Houston at home. I think this is going to be a great matchup for the year. I think Houston's going to, they're as confident as all get out, as they should be. They should feel like they're the best team in the AFC South. Let them. It doesn't mean nothing. I'm not saying that. We got to see it play out on the field. But I think it's going to be a good battle week 3. And I think we come away with a victory in front of the hometown crowd. I do think we split with Houston. So I don't think we're sweeping the entire division. I don't. But I do think we'll split with Houston. And I think we take it at home. I think playing in front of the hometown crowd is going to be big, and we know that's a big rival, so I think this time we get them at home. Week 4, we go to San Francisco. I think San Fran's going to come back strong. They had a ton of injuries last year, big time, but I expect them to come back strong. They're going to be physical again. They're going to go back to the old school, and we should too, so hopefully we can match that up. But I think San Fran takes care of us on the road in week 4. Not blown out. I just don't think, again, I'm not sold that the team's going to have it all together. It should be getting better and better and closer, but I don't know. We'll see about that. Kansas City, Monday Night Football. That's awesome. It's our only primetime game other than London. Might be some flex down the road if we do anything this year, but at the minimum, we have Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. Monday Night Football. I got them beating us. I don't think we're gonna hang with them. I think we'll hang with them. I shouldn't say that, but I think they'll end up winning that game. I think Kansas City's that good, and who knows? It's early in the year. You know, the idea is we get better and better and better and better and better. It's okay how you start, right? We were 3-6 in '96. I know everyone's like, yeah, well, we were 3-6, and then we made a run, and then anything can happen. Go back to 2022 when they started making a run, right? They started playing well. They started coming together. They started making less mistakes. They catch people off guard. Nobody knew what to expect from them. Then they figured it out on offense and on defense, and we know the rest. But I think KC takes care of us in week 5. Week 6, we got Seattle coming to town. Interesting. Been a long time since we've seen Seattle here, I think, from what I remember. Remember that goal line stand in '96? I sure do. It's absolutely fantastic when we were, what were we? We were 7-7, and we needed that victory, and we got it. That was a Sunday night game. Fantastic. But I think we beat Seattle. Look, could they? I don't know. I think they'll be an interesting team to watch. Although they've got, there's no more DK Metcalf, there's no more Geno. They replaced them, but, we'll see. I got us beating Seattle. I think we'll beat Seattle. Long trip for them, not for us, which I like. We already get out there with San Fran and such. So home for Seattle, I think we win. The LA Rams in London. How about that? The old, there's going to be a lot of kissy face leading up to the game, of course, with the connection with James Gladstone and Liam Cohen, Les Snead, and all those guys out with the Rams. I think at the end of the day, the Rams are going to be a pretty tough team, and I think they beat us in London. And then there's a bye, which is great. They did choose to take the bye, which I think is smart. It's good. So let's see. I got them 3-3. 3-3. No, 3-4 starting off. 3-4. Again, anything can happen. Anything can change in that regard. Shoot, we may go up to Carolina and shit the bed and then go play Cincinnati tough as hell. You just don't know how you come out, in the beginning of the year and how you're going to ebb and flow and have the chemistry and all that good stuff. So, nonetheless, if you see the sweat, it's just getting hot down here. Going to take a little walk with my wife in just a minute, sweat it all out from last night. By the way, had a great time at Ocean View. If you've never been in Almirada, absolutely fantastic. I love local bars. I do that all day long, you know what I mean? Instead of all the glitzy and all that other stuff. I love local bars. They had a karaoke thing going on. Everybody got up. Even my youngest, we got up and sang Sally, the wine falling down or something like that. When the wine runs out, yeah, it's a good one by Role Model. So we got up there and sang that. But we had a blast. All right, so we go to Vegas. We beat Vegas. Now, again, you got Pete Carroll, you got Geno Smith. Christian Wilkins should be healthy. He was hurt all year last year. Add him to the mix, which they already have a very good defensive line led by Max Crosby. So I got us beat in Vegas, but again, you know what I mean? You just never know how that goes. But my gut tells me we'll go out to the city of sin and hopefully stay out of trouble and come home with a victory. And then we go to Houston, number 9, week 9, or game 9, I should say. And I think we lose to Houston at their place. Now, that could totally change, of course, but I got to split Houston. I don't think we sweep Houston. I gave it away. I do think we sweep Indy, and I do think we sweep Tennessee. But, again, they catch fire. They get the right mix. They get the right players. You just never know. But my gut tells me we go out to Houston and drop that one. We got the Chargers at home next. I think they're going to be a pretty tough team. I think Jim Harbaugh will get it together for them. I think we lose to the Chargers. And then I got us going on a win streak. Yeah, believe it or not. We go to Zona and beat Arizona. We go to Tennessee and beat Tennessee. We got Indy at home. And we got the Jets at home. And I got those as victories as well. So 4 in a row. I know it's it's lofty, but you never know. You never know what can happen in this game. And I think I'm going to be a believer in Liam and James and Tony, and that they got the right people and the right process and the right accountability and all that good stuff. And I'm going to say we go on that. Now again, you go back to the Jets. Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I like their defense. Breece Hall is a really good running back, as we all know. New coach at the helm, which he's a great defensive coordinator coming from Detroit. Aaron Glenn was a great player. Can he instill that toughness and that mental fortitude and all that? That's what it comes down to, man. It's guys that really give a shit. I mean, you go across the board at good teams. It's not just talent. It's not just scheme. It's the men who really care, the men who really put a lot of pride in their performance. But, look, the Jets could be a loss right there. They could have it all together, but so could we. I got us beating them. All right, game 15 out in Denver. I got us losing. I don't know, just coming off a 4-game win streak. I don't think we finish it out with wins, but close. And I think Bo Nix, it's going to be interesting. Year 2 with Bo, right? With Sean, this is going to be interesting to watch. We got him on tape now. We got him on lockdown as far as how we're going to defend. We got the game plan. We've been watching him all year. We know what he did right. We know what he did wrong. We know what he's good at. We know what his weaknesses are. And then you got to beat the game plan. As we all look, we've seen it with Trevor. And I do think you go back to 2022. That's the first year. I mean, Urban, that was a cluster. So They got nothing off the Urban Meyer deal. I mean, other defensive coordinators trying to figure out Trevor and how he's going to play and how they're going to play him and all this stuff. Because then you get Doug Peterson, and then you're like, oh, wait, this is totally new, right? And we were killing it. We were doing great. And then San Diego or Chargers kind of figured us out first half. Then we figured it out and got it done. It was great. But maybe they figured us out in year 2 of Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, and we haven't yet beat the game plan. Factors, of course, are always factors. But at the end of the day, that's the reality. And let me get back to the things, because it all does come down to the QB. It for every team, it comes down to the QB and disrupting the QB on defense. It's what it really comes down to. Yeah, you got to stop the run. Yes, you got to run the ball. You got to do these things. But at the end of the day, if you harass the quarterback and disrupt his game, and then your quarterback doesn't get disrupted and has a game of, produces efficiently and just successfully, that's when you got something, right? You got to have the wall, you got to have the players, you got to have everybody. But you got to have the quarterback work out, at least where he's not making mistakes and costing you games. I do think we go to Indy and beat them pretty good, and I think we beat Tennessee at home. I do. We got a 10-7 record. Listen, man, when I first saw the schedule, I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. And then I was like, oh. And I'm always like this visual learner, so I got to write it down. I can't just read it from the press conference. I got to write it down. I got to put my little notes, that kind of stuff, and think about it. But then you go through it, and the initial says, yeah. I mean, look, our offense should be high-powered. It should be. I'm expecting it to be. And our defense has just got to be a lot better. It's got to be a lot better. You weren't good enough. You weren't good enough. Haven't been good enough on defense. Gave up way too many games last year. And a lot of it was attitude. A lot of it was, being in the wrong position. A lot of it was getting game planned and getting your ass beat, jumping up on under routes, getting thrown down the field 10, 15 yards as a defensive tackle, that kind of shit. That's got to stop, and I think it will. That's why I got us at 10-7 for the 2025 season, and we'll go with that. We'll go with that, man. Wouldn't that be a great year? 4-13 to 10-7, which means what? At 10-7, you're vying for the title of the AFC South, without question. I don't see any one of the teams in the AFC South going above 12 wins or 11 wins. I don't know. Do you? I don't think that. Now, Houston could be at 10-7, 11-6, somewhere in that range. They could be. I don't think the others will be. I don't think, even with Cam, rookie QB, he may have a great year, and he may, but you just got to get after his ass. That's again why I want a Trey Hendrickson type. I want this guy. I think he makes all the difference in the world. I do. BB is 55. That's for our friend Jennifer Brust. We call her the bad bitch. BB is 55, so happy to celebrate Jennifer's birthday while we're down here and having a great time. One more day in Almorad and then back to reality tomorrow. I will not be on the radio tomorrow because I'll be traveling. I probably won't do a podcast. We're not rushing out of here, so I may do one in the morning from the boat. And this is great. I mean, I know there's some reflection and whatnot here, and hopefully it came out okay on the video, but I could do a show from here every day. It'll be absolutely incredible just standing on the boat and this backdrop's phenomenal. We caught a bunch of tuna yesterday. We had fresh tuna. Oh my, just incredible. Tell you what, it's good life down here, but you better be working. You better have enough money because it's expensive too. And I need to get back to work. This is work, and I love doing this stuff, no doubt about it. But I got to get back into the action up there in Jayville. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you all have a great day today. Happy Thursday. Go get them. Have a productive day, and then have some fun tonight. Later, we will as well, and we'll see you next time here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. No horse's mouth this week, but please, again, go to TommyMac.net. Go check out my interview with Coach Campo from a week ago. I think you really enjoyed breaking down our Jaguars and how they're looking heading into 2025 season. All right, 10-7 for our Jags. We'll see if they can pull it off. You've been Catching Up with Tommy Mac. So until next time, stay safe, be cool, man, and stay cool. We'll see you right here and Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great day.